So the three courses we do, or some of the three courses I do at City College in Bristol, are game and mobile development and systems design. For games development, we use Unity, which is a package that uses C#. It's a games engine. In that, we learn how to control a character, you learn how to jump and shoot. And this year, the students made a third-person 3D shooter. For example, this is a typical Unity interface where you have the design window where you can see the 3D characters, and then you've got over here animators. I taught this course using YouTube. On this course, I've got several different videos, and they teach you how to do different things, such as moving the character, and for example, this character is now moving around and then shooting. So I teach you all the different individual parts of games development with Unity, and then you go on to make your own game, such as this top demo by one of my best students. He made an FPS game where you're in the dark, it's very scary, and you have to find out your way out to not get attacked. So let's just take a quick look at this. Turn the sound up. And then it does use the mouse to turn, but there's a little, I think I need to set the mouse up for that. And you can see this is using, it was a 3D game. You back, forward, you can jump, and it's using this sort of tunnel vision, and it's very dark and scary, and you can hear these sounds all around you. And there's this big polar bear that is sort of looking for you. And if you stand still for too long, it'll find you and attack you. And I think so. Yeah, and he's created this whole menu system. He's learned a lot of it by watching YouTube tutorials, but we teach you the basics of how to create games. So that's computer games design using Unity. This is something you could make. Also, the other courses we do are app development and systems methodology. So in app development, you're going to make a cross-platform app with Flutter. I started using a back-end database called Firebase, and then the systems methodology part we do in the course before that, where you design the whole system. So let's just jump in, take a look at one of the examples that a student has made. So to talk about the problem they had to solve, there's a hairdressing salon in the college, and so that they can make bookings more easily, the students have had to design a system which allows customers to make bookings through the app, and for the admins of the department to be able to set times when student hairdressers are free to do appointments, and then the students need to know when they have to do the appointments. So we're trying to sort of digitize that. So that's the problem. Then they go ahead and design it. Some of them have, these are from several different students. This is one of their designs. This is another design using a wireframing tool. Then they look at the technical design behind it. They design the database. So in a database for customers, you can have a user table, and then you're going to have different types of users, like hairdressers and admins, and then customers can make bookings, and so on and so on. So we get to think about how would you design the data behind it. And then other design tools, something called UML, which is designing how the code will basically be structured. And then you've got decision tables. So, for example, you need to work out in your system, if a user requests a booking, what should happen? Check if the time slots are available. It is one of the possible outcomes. If the user selects a hairdresser, displays the hairdresser specialization and info. So what sort of things are going to happen in your system? And then I teach students how to plan things out using something called sprint planning, where you break up all the tasks, you decompose them into small steps, and then you go ahead and you make the app. So in this app that the students made, there's 3 accounts: an admin, a customer, and a student account. And the admin sets the time slots, the customer makes the bookings, and the student accepts the bookings. So we switch over to this. So this is the Firebase. It's a back end. It's got all sorts of features you can use, but the main thing we use is the database. Also, we use something called authentication. That's for logging in and out. And then I've started using something called FlutLab. And FlutLab is a great online tool for developing Flutter apps. It means that you don't have to install anything on the computer, and you can look at your work at home. So at the moment, we're going to log in to the admin account. Now the admin, if this works, the admin has several different features. They can do all these things. They can approve feedback about hairdresser, cancel bookings, create pay slips. But the main thing they need to do is they need to set booking times. So here they can say, this class is available Mondays and Thursdays between 8 and 5. They save those booking times. Then the customer comes along, logs in. These are demo accounts. And the customer logs in like this. The customer can then create a booking, and the only bookings that are going to be available are the ones that the admin has set are free. So it's going to book a date on the 1st of April at 5, book that appointment, and then the hairdresser or the student comes along and they log in. If you get the password right, very strong password, and the hairdresser can then they can cancel bookings, but mainly they can see their timetable, they can see when they've been booked, and you can see here, this is the one that we just booked, 5 o'clock on the 1st of April. So a system like this is quite complex. There's a lot going on in the background, as well as the app code. You've got to interact with the database. So you have like a bookings table here and a users table here. And so you can see why it's important to spend a lot of time designing the system before you make it. So when it comes to actually building it, it's very clear what you're doing, and you save yourself a lot of time. And so yeah, these are some of the courses that we do at the City College on the Btec with game, which I teach, game and mobile development, and importantly system design, which you could also use for mobile game development as well, but mainly we use it for mobile at the moment.